Idaho State 65 wins, 107 losses, 41-66 in Big Sky play, 395 career wins as a head coach, just 5 away from 400. So we are about ready to go here as Evan Otten out of Redmond, Washington, and Jacob Holt out of British Columbia in the center circle. The tips controlled back, and they actually made a change. No, they didn't. They went with Leo Ricketts, the starter. I missed that. I had it marked down, but wasn't expecting to see him out there. He is a freshman, and he is a sharp shooter. Here's Skuta on the far side. Emil Skuta out of Finland. They give it up off a pass to Holt to Ricketts. Drives down to the left block. They'll kick it back out. That's E.J. Neal, and now a 3-ball, and that's going to be good by Emil Skuta. So it's a quick 3-0 lead. That was a very patient possession.
Yeah, but Sac State made 15 threes down at Weber State on Thursday night. So, you know, they're playing with some confidence, shooting with some confidence from three-point range right now.
Dylan Darling came out of his shoe on the far side over there as he was trying to make a cut. He's got it back on now. Ball comes to the near side corner, down to 7 to shoot. They're going to bring it out, and Dylan Darling will get the catch. Fall away baseline jumper is good. Well, one shoe or two, he can make 2 points.
Yeah, you don't want to take on Dylan Darling under any circumstances.
There's Leo Ricketts now with the ball out here on the right wing side in front of our broadcast position. On top to Jacob Holt. Hand it off. Emil Skuta wants to drive inside. Got Otten in the air, and he walked with the basketball. So Skuta went with the head fake, but forgot you got to leave your feet still.
Yep.
So it'll be Bengal basketball, trailing it 3-2. Idaho State really struggled to score the basketball, especially from 3 against Sacramento State in that first meeting.
And another whistle very quickly away from the ball.
It's going to be tipped out on the baseline left. Now, Idaho State in that first meeting was 6 of 22 from three-point range.
Ricketts picked up the foul away from the basketball.
I was blocked off there. Did not
Sac State has a tendency to get in foul trouble, and the Bengals shot 31 free throws against them the first time they played.
Get the ball to Evan Otten on the block, and Jake O'Neal trying to come in for the rebound. He gets shoved to the ground, and there's going to be a foul whistled, and that'll go against Skuta. And Emil Skuta has picked up the second team foul in 20 seconds here for Sacramento State. So the Bengals baseline left, bring it into Connor Hollenbeck.
Connor Hollenbeck has kind of been the fuse for this Bengal offense at home. He's shot very well at home.
Darling drive, kick, far side, 3-ball, in and out, not good. Rebound to Ricketts. Ricketts, the little redhead, he'll push it ahead, gets it to Skuta, kick it back. Now Skuta left alone in the corner for 3. That won't drop, and the rebound comes to Isaiah Griffin. Now Darling for the lead. The 3-ball is good, and Dylan Darling hits the first Mountain America Credit Union 3-pointer.
When I see that play like that, it reminds me of what Ryan Looney said on our postgame show Thursday. I just kind of try to get out of Dylan's way.
Here is a 3-ball, and that was a deep one straight down the barrel for Leo Ricketts. And Ricketts, he has only played in 11 games. He's 8 of 29 from 3, now making 9 of 30. Here is a drive, and Dylan Darling is off to a start.
Well, it's basically Dylan Darling against the Hornets right now. He's got all 7 of the Bengal points.
So Leo Ricketts comes front court. High screen from Holt. They try to
travel
back to him, and he traveled with it. And so the turnovers mounting already here. That'll be number 3 on the Hornets.
On the season, the Hornets average 13.5 turnovers a game. Not terrible, but they're -2 in turnover margin on the season.
Blake Dabrico checks in to give Evan Otten a break. We've seen that early substitution a little bit more lately.
Yeah. Ryan Looney with a little more confidence in Blake Dabrico right now.
Here's Darling on top. Ricketts on him. They try to get a little pick and roll. Drop back. And another 3-pointer good. And the first 10 points of the night have come from Dylan Darling with a pair of Mountain America Credit Union 3-pointers.
He's making a statement.
Here's Skuta. Bengals up 10-6. Give it to Neal. Now out on top to Jacob Holt. Trying to back down Blake Dabrico. Gives up the ball. Finds Skuta. Scuda into the paint. That's what he likes to do, and Daberco rejected the shot. Here comes Darling on the run. He's got Daberco trailing. Wide on the right side now to Hollenbeck. Back out on top. It was funny because we asked Ryan, is it hard for you to not slow Dylan down, or to slow him down, or let him run? And
he said, no, not when he's playing the way he played Thursday night.
Kick it over. Here's Isaiah Griffin from the left wing for three. That's not good. And the ball tapped out of bounds. Touched last by Blake Daberco. And we're going to get Bailey Nunn into the game here, I believe, for Sacramento State. They actually called a foul on Daberco.
Well, we said that Vaughns, who had 21 points in the first game between these two teams, is dressed, but he is not, has not made an appearance. There's the block by Blake Daberco. And Blake had 3 blocks on Thursday night against a very good Portland State team.
They tried to lob it inside for a Holt, and it's turned over. And I'll tell you right now, Sacramento State
turned the ball over 4 times. They only list 3 in the official stats, but I know they've turned it over 4 times. There's Jacob Holt. His last 2 games were both double-doubles. He had a huge game down at Weber, 27 points, 13 rebounds on Thursday.
Bengals back on the attack. Daberco handles out on top. Gives off to Jake O'Neal. Jake with the crossover. Gets down the right side of the lane. He's got Scuda on him. Kicks it back over. Now Isaiah Griffin. Drive. Pull up. Jump shot. Good. Got the foul. And Isaiah Griffin is going to go to the free throw line for the first time tonight. And boy, early on the fouls really mounting up here against Sacramento State. That is already their 3rd team foul.
Well, we told you Sac State has a tendency to get in foul trouble. They've had 16 DQs this year. 16 players foul out.
Free throw missed and touched last out of bounds by the Idaho State Bengals. You saw in that replay, E.J. Neal, the former Idaho Vandal, just got him on the elbow on that release. And so Idaho State with an early 12-6 lead here. 15:34 remaining in the first half. Bailey Nunn is checked in here for the Hornets, another one of those Australian players. Driving the baseline, pull-up jump shot's going to be missed out there by Lachlan Brewer, and the Bengals come back quickly. Feed it down to the left block, bring it back out. Connor Hollenbeck, that 3-ball looked a little bit off to the left side, and it was, and the rebound came out of there to Neal. He'll push it ahead now to Bailey Nunn. Make that Michael Wilson, number 5, who's in there for Sacramento State. Got that rebound, and there's going to be a hold and a foul.
Isaiah Griffith trying to match up against Jacob Holt. He's given up about 4 inches and about 15, 20 pounds to Holt. But Jake, we've heard Ryan Looney say a couple times that Isaiah has become probably their best man-on-man defender. And so they're matching him up with Holt, although he's coming out of the ball game right now.
A.J. Bergen's going to check in here. 6'3" senior or grad students. We're going to go senior/grad. How about that? Out of San Diego, working on his MBA here. Wide on the left side is going to be Bailey Nunn. Little crossover move. Fire it back out on top. Here's E.J. Neal, and his 3-ball finds the bottom of the net.
E.J. Neal started his career at the University of Idaho. He's out of San Francisco originally.
It'll be Bengals on top with Hollenbeck. Give it over now to Dylan Darling, trying to come off a high screen. There's a hard hedge out on top. Feed it back to Daberco. He wants to come out and now do a screen for Hollenbeck. Give it back, and here is another 3-ball, and that one's good.
Well, boy, is Dylan shooting with confidence tonight. 5 for 5.
That is 3 Mountain America Credit Union 3-pointers. Mountain America Credit Union donating $50 to Operation Warm in East Idaho for every Bengal 3-pointer this season. And from the far side corner, that is going to be E.J. Neal, I think, with another one.
Another 3, yep. Good ball movement by the Hornets. The Bengals tried to double team on the strong side, and that left Neal wide open in the corner.
Here's Darling driving inside. The runner not good. No foul called on Ryan Looney. Was looking for it, but no foul called. Whip it down the floor. Holt with the catch underneath and puts it up off the glass. He's going to get the foul on Daberco. That's the second on Blake, so he's going to have to come out of there. As Jacob Holt will get his first bucket of the night. Let's take a look.
You see the foul on Blake Daberco, so he's going to come out of the ball game, and Otten will come back in.
So Evan Otten back in there, and he's going to have to play a lot down the stretch. Now, one thing we heard in the pregame is that they can also bring in Jackson Green and help down there in the post as well.
Of course, Jackson doesn't have the length that Otten and Dabrikow have. Otten just violated the lane, and fortunately the free throw went in, so it doesn't matter.
So Jacob Holt completes the three-point play opportunity, and that ties us up at 15 apiece, first tie of the night.
Well, it's been all Dylan Darling for the Bengals offensively. They need to get somebody else involved here offensively.
Here's Otten up on top. Got a new man in the game there for Sacramento State. Their uniform numbers are extremely difficult to read.
Yeah, very hard.
That's Michael Williams. Or Wilson, number 5. Here is A.J. Bergen with a pull-up jump shot. Left it short. Rebound comes out of there to Lachlan Brewer. Brewer will push front court. Here's Neal. Up on top, that's Judy Diorama was the guy I was trying to pick up the number on down there. So Diorama into the game for the first time tonight out of London, England. Bailey gives it to Brewer, and they're going to call a block as Diorama made his move into the paint. And Bengals got there a little late. A.J. Bergen going to be tagged with that.
You see the replay
foul
here. A.J., I don't know about that. I thought A.J. might have been outside the restricted area, but they said he got there too late. And Evan Otten came over and blocked the shot to make sure it wasn't a three-point play opportunity.
So Diorama to the free throw line. We're on the season. He's a 71% shooter, and that one rims out of there. Diorama's really come on of late as well.
Yeah, he had 10 points Thursday night against Weber State. Good-looking athlete. They got a couple of good-looking bigs in Holt and Diorama.
He's a redshirt freshman. He was born in Budapest. Very interesting. And the second free throw. That one rims out no good. Rebound fought for. It was saved, but came right to A.J. Bergen. Now Dylan Darling pushes into the front court. He'll circle back and set the offense. 12:45 to go here, first half. Clock ticks down, tied at 15.
Let's see if the Bengals can get somebody else going offensively besides Dylan.
Dylan got in the air. Underneath they go, and Jackson Green, who just checked into the game, picks up his first field goal. And the Bengals go back out on top, 17-15, and a big assist by Dylan Darling.
Yeah, Dylan, of course, had 13 assists Thursday night.
Here is Bailey Nunn, high off the glass, not good. Diorama with the rebound, kick it out. Brewer up fake, pulls up, 16-footer good.
Lachlan Brewer, a 6'6" freshman. He's a good-looking specimen as well. There's some good young players on this Sac State team.
Isaiah Griffin back in there. He's got the ball wide on the right side out on the perimeter. Comes out on top to Green. Now Otten hands it back now to Dylan Darling. 15 to shoot for the Bengals. They wanted Otten trying to lob it inside there. Darling finds a seam. Stop. Step back. Jumper. Not good off the iron. Rebound controlled by Diorama. Get it ahead. That's Scuda. Far side. Bailey Nunn. His three-pointer off the iron, and the rebound into the hands of Darling. Ahead to Isaiah Griffin. Isaiah's got a little smaller man on him than Bailey Nunn. Pull-up jumper off the baseline is good. And I like Isaiah Griffin's jump shot tonight. That's 2 in a row from that same spot.
And Isaiah recognized he had the mismatch. He's got about 6 inches on Bailey. Took advantage of it off the baseline.
Bailey Nunn out of Melbourne, Australia. Gets all the way inside. Throws it high off the glass. It didn't draw iron. Rebound came out of there to Green. Get it ahead now to Bergen. A.J. down to Isaiah. Now on the left side, the pull-up baseline jumper is good.
Boy, when Isaiah gets that confidence going, that's huge for this Bengal offense.
Scuda into the front court. Out on top, Diorama finds a seam, goes inside. They're going to draw the foul on Evan Otten. Evan late to the spot.
And the basket counts.
So Diorama with his first field goal. Otten with his first foul. That's 5 on.
Pocatello. Life is good here.
Idaho State Bengals leading at 21-19. And boy, Dylan Darling, Brad, he has been everything. And boy, he's off to a great start tonight.
5 of 7 from the field, 13 points. Has an assist on Thursday night. Of course, he had 13 assists, a career high. But Dylan has just been tremendous here. Unfortunately for the Bengals, they haven't been able to get anybody else going other than Isaiah Griffin, who's hit three buckets here early on.
ISU Bengal basketball support comes from Lithia, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Pocatello, assisting the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeast Idaho. With every assist the Bengals make this season, Lithia will make a donation to the club. And that 13 assist performance the other night tied for 7th best in school history and the most since 1999.
Yeah, Stephen Brown had 14 for Idaho State in a game in 1999. So, yeah, great performance by Dylan.
So Judy Diorama, who hit the bucket and got the foul on Otten before the timeout, misses the free throw, and Jackson
Boy,
Green
is it physical on that baseline, on that free throw line. I'm watching those guys go at it for that defensive rebound, and man, they are going at it hard.
Here's Darling, wide right now for Isaiah Griffin. Smaller man on him, pull-up baseline jumper. I mean, if Isaiah gets to that baseline right now, you may as well put 2 points in the book.
Yeah, and an interesting matchup because they're going with a much smaller Bailey against him.
Diorama on top. Gives it off, drive, and the floater not good, but Diorama gets the offensive rebound. They'll reset it. Get it now over here to Bailey Nunn. Nunn is a sophomore. Averages about 6.5 points a game. Looking for Diorama as he rolled down the lane. Now they'll kick it over, and instead it'll be a three-pointer put up and missed on the far side by Skuta. And the rebound to Jake O'Neal. He'll get it back, bring it to the front court. Now they've got Skuta on Isaiah. Get it out now to Hollenbeck, down on the baseline near side. O'Neal, kick it out. Isaiah Griffin kind of thought about a three ball. Back to Dylan Darling, 10 to shoot.
They've gone to a zone.
Yep, and here is Jake O'Neal. His little push shot rolls in.
First time I think we've seen the zone tonight from Sac State.
6-point Bengal lead at 25-19, and I believe that matches, yeah, it does. That matches their biggest lead of the night. I think it was 12-6 early. Diorama on top. Green checks him. And they'll give it off to Skuta. He'll work off a Diorama screen. Skuta loves to drive the paint and get inside. And then Diorama missed an absolute bunny, and the rebound came out of there to Idaho State. Here's Dylan Darling. He gets by the screen. Stop. Far side. Three ball. Isaiah Griffin. A little too hard and flat off the iron. Rebound to Skuta. Skuta. Bengals try to get the stop. They do. That gives Nunn an open look. That won't drop. And the rebound to Jake O'Neal. Back down the floor quickly. Darling into the paint. Kick it back. Jake O'Neal pull up off the glass. Back-to-back buckets for Jake O'Neal. He has got such touch.
Yeah, he just went right over the top of Lackland, who's about 6'6".
I don't think Brewer was...
Skeeta.
Yeah, but either way, I don't think he was expecting him to shoot it that quick.
He put it up there quick. Skeeta over the top of Skeeta.
Here's Skeeta with it now out on top to Diorama. Diorama, a couple of dribbles with that right hand. Terminates. Comes back to Lackland Brewer. And that ball's bounced away, and that's another turnover. Pretty good defense on the perimeter there, too. Staying right with Brewer was Connor Hollenbeck.
They're still listing Sac State with only 3 official turnovers before that last one. I'm pretty sure they had 4, so that would be 5. Officially, they've got them with only 4 right now.
Let's take a look here. You can see this replay of Jake O'Neal's last shot. Beauty. Just a beauty.
He got that up so quick.
Dylan Darling out. A.J. Bergen at the point.
Oh, Bengals, there's a walk the Bengals got away with.
Bengals on a 5-0 run, and that's going to be a blocking foul, and that's going to send Isaiah Griffin to the line. Sacramento State has not scored in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. It's a little bit more than that now, make it 2:58.
Here's the replay. Let's see if Skeeta got outside the... Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, I think he was close. Yeah, I think he was on that restricted area line. So with 7:50 left in the first half, Idaho State Bengals on a run here. They lead 27-19, and Isaiah Griffin, Brad, he has been off to a great start here tonight.
Yeah, 8 points, 3 rebounds. Isaiah 4 of 7 from the field. The Bengals on a 6-0 run. They have made 5 of their last 6 shots. Sac State is 1 of their last 7.
Isaiah Griffin missed his first free throw tonight. He's not been, I would say, not that he's not a good free throw shooter, just inconsistent from night to night sometimes.
64%, I believe, on the season. That's not great. You'd like to see every one of your starters in the 70s at least.
Well, he makes the first one, and that's a pair of ICCU free throws. And For each made free throw this year, Idaho Central Credit Union donating $5 to student athletes at Idaho State. Jacob Holt back into the game. They get it inside to Holt, and his shot blocked by Evan Otten. Coming the other way is going to be Hollenbeck. Gives it over to A.J. Feed it inside, and it's a two-hand flush by the 6'11 freshman. Evan Otten with his first bucket of the night, and with some attitude.
Oh, you just see the potential on those two plays on either end of the floor, and it just makes you drool. Now he's going to get a foul, and there is the inexperience. Yeah. Trying to set up down low against Holt, and that's his second foul, and so he's going to have to come out of the game.
Let's take a look at the replay. Here's the block on Holt, and then he doesn't give up. He runs the floor, and he gets rewarded by the senior captain.
Yeah, A.J. Bergen. But unfortunately, he picks up his second foul, and so there's the yin and the yang, if you will, of that redshirt freshman.
They get it into Jacob Holt. They're going to have Jackson Green on him. He's going to back Jackson down, trying to come for help, and they're going to call a block on Jackson Green. And that'll be the first on Jackson and the seventh on Idaho State.
We'll see the replay here. We see Holt.
It's
tough call.
It is a tough call. Jacob Holt, 3 points tonight.
And now the Hornets are in the bonus for the rest of the half.
Dylan Darling comes back in. This should be a 1-and-1 chance, I think they're saying. Leo Ricketts out. Bailey Nunn back in for Michael Zeppel and the Hornets. Jacob Holt at the line. And the free throw up. And that's off the iron. Not good. And the rebound comes out of there to Jake O'Neal.
Holt, a 72% free throw shooter on the season, but couldn't get that one to drop.
1 of 2 on the night. Bengals up 31-19, and there's another whistle away from the basketball.
I think that was on Holt. I think he was holding one of the Bengals, maybe Isaiah Griffin, as he was trying to cut through the lane.
Well, that's the first on Holt, the fourth on Sacramento State, and the Bengals will have it under their own basket here on the left baseline. Lob it into Hollenbeck, feed it right back to Darling. None on him. Darling trying to drive, gets the spin move, kicks it out to O'Neal. One-hand catch, gets it back. Here is Darling on the baseline. Double team comes. Bengals moving around. Get it to Hollenbeck. Hollenbeck drives, hangs, shot not good. Going to draw the foul on Jacob Holt, and that's 2 quick ones on the big man.
That is big, because he's probably going to have to sit the rest of the half.
Hey, we're coming up on the 5:29 mark left here in the first half. Reminds us that support comes from Ideal, Idaho's college savings program. Ideal is a state-sponsored tax advantage savings program that helps families pay for the cost of college. Information and full disclosure statement, including risk terms and conditions, can be found online at idsaves.org.
Hollenbeck hits the front end of his 2-shot foul.
First points of the night for Hollenbeck. He missed the second, but the rebound got loose, and it came to who else? Jake O'Neal.
Jake.
He finds those loose basketballs.
He's a magnet.
Bengals up 13. Pass. Corner. Hollenbeck. Up fake. Gets by. Now kick it. Far side. O'Neal for 3. That's good. Jake O'Neal with a Mountain America Credit Union. 35-19. You see the score. The Bengals are shooting the ball at a 64% clip right now, Bradley. And, man, tough to lose when you do that.
Yep. They have heated up.
E.J. Neal back in there. He makes a pass to Bailey Nunn. He feeds it back to Chudy Diarama. Diarama using his size and backs off and missed the layup off the glass, but got his own tip. And that's going to be the problem the Bengals are going to have right now with Daberco and Otten on the bench.
Yes.
Those big guys are going to have some free reign. Here is another pull-up baseline jumper for Isaiah Griffin. He's got 10, make it 12 points now.
Isaiah, 5 of 8.
There's a three-pointer put up and missed. The rebound tip comes to Griffin. He'll outlet. Bengals up by 16, 37-21. Spin move, kick it underneath. Jake O'Neal lost the handle, regained control, and then lost it again, and it came out of there to Brewer. Lachlan Brewer up the floor to E.J. Neal. Neal Back to Diorama. Back now to Neal on the angle left. Between the ring center circle, Bailey Nunn. 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in the first half. It's been all Idaho State. Bodies fly everywhere. Bailey Nunn goes down and gets called for the traveling violation. There were 3 bodies on the floor, and Jackson Green kind of wincing a little bit as he gets up. I don't know if somebody landed on him. I think maybe that's what it was. He says
here's
okay.
The replay. Let's see. Watch Nunn. He comes in. Diorama goes down first. 2 Bengals fall over the top of him, and then Nunn falls into all that traffic and travels.
Yeah, Judy actually kind of fell into Jackson Green. He went down, and then it was like dominoes. So 5 minutes left here. Here is Jake O'Neal. Underneath, kick it, corner, 3. O'Neal, or make it Hollenbeck, no. O'Neal tried to save the rebound. It's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to stay where? It's going to stay with the Bengals, I believe. And they're going to put 20 seconds on the clock, and going to get in A.J. Bergen here. And
Isaiah Griffith's going to get a well-earned rest.
Boy,
he's had a terrific first half.
He really has. Take a look at Isaiah Griffin here.
12 points and 4 rebounds.
5 of 8 from the field. 2 of 3 from the free throw line. And I think he's got an assist if I would. Nope, just 4 rebounds. Here is A.J. Bergen left alone. His 3 ball halfway down and out. Hollenbeck had the rebound. He got hit in the nose, and the ball comes out of there to Diorama. Now Nunn. Nunn trying to shake and bake against Darling. Nothing going there. And there is a 3-point try. No.
And there's a flop by O'Neal.
And on the other end, Connor Hollenbeck lost the handle on the basketball. Dylan Darling and Associate Head Coach Joe White was jumping out there and telling Dylan Darling, you made a great pass.
Connor just took his eye off it.
4 minutes, 20 seconds left here. Bengals lead 37-21. Scott Gross, Brad Bugger with you from Reed Gymnasium. E.J. Neal gives it up. Diorama now down there on that left block area. Skip pass far side, threw it over the head of Lackland Brewer and out of bounds to Idaho State. Turnovers are killing Sacramento State.
Yep. They list them as having 5, but I believe they got 1 more than that.
Well, they show 6 right now in the live stats, and ISU scored 7 points off of those 6 turnovers to this point. Idaho State just 2 turnovers on the night. No Sacramento State points off of those.
And it looks like the Hornets are going to, well, they're back in a man-to-man right now.
Got Michael Wilson out there, and yeah, they did go back to the man-to-man. Now it's Nunn on Darling. Over to A.J. Bergen. Catch, shoot, 3, bang! A.J. Bergen with another Mountain America Credit Union 3-pointer, and Idaho State is up by 19.
Bengals are 5 of 11 from 3-point range.
Well, you want to bottle this shooting and take it every road trip. Here's Diorama leading in over Daberco, and that
Blake out there with those 2 fouls. He can't really challenge.
Step back, 3, Darling, good! Dylan Darling is absolutely lighting it up in the first half with 16 points.
And for Dylan, that is his 4th 3. He is 4 of 4 from 3-point range.
And 3 assists and a rebound. And we got a whistle. And what do we have?
2 fouls with 3:09 to go. And so the Bengals have to be very careful not to get into deeper foul trouble. The Hornets already in the bonus.
Lackland Brewer at the free throw line. He is a 44% free throw shooter, which is hard to imagine the way he shoots threes.
As good a 3-point shooter as he is. That's really amazing. And they are just 1 of 5 from the foul line tonight.
So it'll be the Bengals with the ball up by 20. Blake Daberco drives inside against Diorama, turns, hangs, shoots, and scores. Blake Daberco with his first field goal.
And again, that's the Blake Daberco we're starting to see emerge. Somebody who's shooting with confidence in the paint.
Ball in the hands over there, the far side, Emil Skuta. Skuta gets it into the paint to Diorama, and he walks with the basketball. And that's that Bengal defense. We saw it the other night against Portland State, Brad. There's a lot of help coming in the paint.
Yeah, he was triple teamed down in there. Here's a replay. You'll see Daberco with a little turnaround jumper.
And that, to me, that is going to be his bread and butter down the stretch and into next year. He's got the size and the touch to do that on a regular basis.
And he's developing the footwork to get that shot off.
Jackson Green hands it over to Jake O'Neal. O'Neal with none on him, spin, and
he traveled.
Yeah, Jake kind of lost his balance when he went on that spin and took the extra step.
He put himself in the spinorama there and kind of lost his balance.
Only the third turnover against the Bengals here in the first half. 7 have been committed by Sacramento State.
And the Hornets have yet to score a point off of the Bengal turnovers.
2 minutes, 5 seconds to go here. E.J. Neal hands to Bailey Nunn. He'll dribble around the perimeter on top. Got a screen from Holt. Get it back out to Neal. Now down on that left block, Jacob Holt. He can be a wrecking ball with his size. And look at Jackson Green tie him up. Jackson Green. And I'll tell you what caused that was a very bad mental mistake by a big man in Holt. He put the ball down.
Yeah, he brought that ball down to his knees and gave Jackson Green the opportunity to tie him up.
So now the run is 24-4 over the last 8:41. As the Bengals have the ball up 45-23 here against Sacramento State. And going inside, the ball tipped away and off the hands of Idaho State's Jake O'Neal. Dylan Darling drove in there and tried to drop that pass off late. I don't think Jake quite was ready. So the Bengals, if they can win this game tonight, we mentioned earlier, would not have been swept by anybody in the conference.
Other than Northern Colorado.
Right. But talking about the number 1 seed right now, Montana, that is going to be a huge deal. But, man, it'd be interesting to see how many teams can go through the conference and be swept maybe only by 1 team, you know what I mean, during the course of a season. Lob it inside to Holt, and I think they're going to get Jackson Green. Let's see. No, it's Hollenbeck, and that's his second. So Hollenbeck with 2, Otten with 2, Daverco with 2.
Yeah, that's one thing. You know, the Bengals are up by 22 right now, but that's one thing that can get Sac State back in this game, and that is the Bengals in foul trouble, sending Sac State to the free throw line and also putting the Bengals in trouble down low.
Jacob Holt to the line. He's 1 of 2 from there. And that one drops in. It was a 1-and-1 chance. He missed the front end of a 1-and-1 early.
On the season, a 72% free throw shooter. Jacob Holt averaging 16 points and 7 rebounds a game. Definitely one of the best big men in the Big Sky Conference.
Free throw up, and that one's good as well. So he hits a pair. He's now 3 of 4 from the stripe and has 5 points. Bengal lead is still 20, though, at 45-25 with a minute 20 left here in the first half. O'Neal on the attack, got it to Jackson Green. He mishandled it momentarily. Isaiah Griffin back in the game. Gets it to Darling. Darling stops, top of the circle. O'Neal left wing side. Here is Blake Daverco, and that little 8-footer off the left side of the lane.
Boy,
looks like he's done it his whole life.
You see that. That makes you feel really good.
Here is Bailey Nunn trying to dribble on the near sideline. Kicks it over. E.J. Neal's 3-ball too long. Rebound kept alive by Diorama. Came to Nunn. Nunn comes back to Emil Skuta. Skuta spins in the paint. Stops, and he got a whistle away from the basketball. And that's going to be the second on Jackson Green.
Yeah, Bengals really getting themselves into some foul trouble here in the first half.
10 fouls on Idaho State here in the first half. And that's going to send Diorama to the line to shoot a pair. Now, normally, I mean, you would sit here and go, he's 0 for 3, so you would think 2 shots here. But as soon as you say something like that, he'll go up there and knock down a pair.
He's a 71% free throw shooter, so he's not a bad foul shooter.
Nope, and he made the first one there for his 7th point of the night.
And the Bengals are going to get
Jaden
Brown in the ball game for the first time tonight.
6'4", redshirt freshman. He's a shooter out of Pullman, Washington. He'll be heading back to the homeland area next week as the Bengals play at Idaho on Thursday and Eastern Washington Saturday. Diorama makes a pair there. The big freshman with his 8th point. A little pressure in the backcourt. Dylan Darling faces the double team, gives it up to Jake O'Neal. Now they're kind of moving that pressure out a little bit on top here.
They're back in the zone now.
I'm just getting ready to say, it looks like they're going to that 2-3 zone. They'll find Jake O'Neal. Mosquito on him. Left alone is Dylan Darling. His 3-ball off the iron. Rebound came to Lackland Brewer. Long pass ahead. O'Neal left alone, making E.J. Neal far side, and he hits the 3. He's got 3 triples and 9 points on the night. Idaho State's lead is 17 at 47-30. Bengals have 3 seconds to get this shot up. Here is Jake O'Neal. Back to Darling. It's good if it goes. Left it short. And they said, no, it would have not been good. He was just
played 9 minutes in that first half because of foul difficulty. He had 5 points. And Diorama played almost 11 minutes. He had 8 points, 5 rebounds, including 3 offensive boards for Sac State. He has been a big factor, and he's picked up 3 fouls.
Lob it inside, and Jacob Holt starts the second half with an exclamation point, a big 2-hand dunk. Got 3 behind Evan Otten.
Hornets are back in this game. You can feel the momentum shifting.
Here is Jake O'Neal on the other end. He tries to go up, clean block by Jacob Holt. Bailey Nunn on the run, gets it to Holt. Left alone, spots up, hits the 3. 5 straight points for Jacob Holt, and it's a 12-point basketball game.
And just like that, the Bengals led this game by 22 in the first half, and now it's 12.
Connor Hollenbeck with the ball, gives it over to Dylan Darling. Darling looking at some defensive pressure from Holt. Hollenbeck drives the baseline, tries to go up with it as it knocked out of his hands by Lackland Brewer. Out of bounds on the right baseline. Bengals will play it in from there. So it'll be Dylan Darling to start the play. Get it into Evan Otten. Hand it now to Connor Hollenbeck. He's got Brewer on him here at the right elbow. Thought maybe Connor might think about a little bit of a drive there. Hollenbeck's been quiet tonight. 3 seconds to shoot. Darling step back, shoots the 3, can't get it, but the long rebound comes right back to him. And Bengals will get a new 20 seconds to work with. Darling baseline, pinned up, needs some help, and throws it away. And that's going to be Bailey Nunn on the run coming the other way. And the shot blocked by Evan Otten. Lackland Brewer went up with it. Let's see how much of a momentum changer that could be. On the other end, kick it across. Hollenbeck up fake for 3. Drives, gives it off to Evan Otten, and he's going to get the foul and go to the line. And let's see who they got there. I think it was E.J. Neal, and it was with his second.
Bengals have only been to the free throw line 5 times tonight. They are 3 of 5. And we told you, Sac State has a tendency to get in foul trouble. They've had 16 DQs this year. But tonight, it's been Idaho State that has struggled getting into foul difficulties.
At the free throw line is Evan Otten. He's got his free throw percentage up to almost 58%. And that one rattles home. That's now, I want to say, let's see, I want to look back to the Montana State game. He went 4 for 4. That's 7 straight that Evan Otten has made.
And that's good improvement because he was basically make one, miss one at the beginning of the season.
And he makes both of these, and a pair of ICCU free throws for the Bengals, and another $5 for each one of those makes to student athletes at Idaho State University, courtesy of Idaho Central Credit Union. Here is Holt out on top. Comes over to E.J. Neal on a pass, and Neal will bring the dribble off the left side of the dome. And now back to Holt. Straight away, Emil Skita left alone. Triggers 3, good. Emil Skita, his second field goal tonight. They're both from downtown, and the lead is 11 at 49-38. And a blocking foul whistle against Lackland Brewer. Nope. Bailey Nunn. Bailey Nunn picks up the foul. That's his first, and that's 2 quick ones here on Sacramento State. Inbounds pass comes to Hollenbeck.
He's got a path to the glass if he wants to take it.
And then there's going to be a bump and a check foul on Lackland Brewer. So Lackland gets his first.
So the foul number's starting to even up a little bit. It was 10-6 in favor of Sac State in the first half. It's 3-0 in favor of Idaho State here.
Here's Otten. He gets it to Isaiah Griffin. He drives inside, can't score. Jake O'Neal can, and he gets the putback and the foul, and he'll go to the line. And the foul goes to Jacob Holt with
Watch
his
the
third.
replay here. What an incredible finish by Jake O'Neal. Throws it up off the glass and in.
So Jake O'Neal, a chance to get to his 10th point of the night. He's got 5 rebounds. A double-double might be in sight again for Jake O'Neal, who has 12.
He has 12 on the season. He hasn't had one for a while.
And the free throw not good. It was tipped by Hollenbeck, controlled by Nunn. 51-38. Bengals still up by 13, but not nearly as comfortable as it was at about the 12 or 8-minute mark of that first half. Here's Skuta. He's going to travel. Good defense.
That is the 9th turnover of the night for the Hornets.
And that was, I believe, Isaiah Griffin, who's kind of slid over there and caused Skuta to change his mind on that drive and then slipped and took the extra step. Isaiah Griffin with the ball. Comes right wing side for Dylan Darling. Emil Skuta on him. Back to Darling. Trying to go high post Hollenbeck. Now Connor pops out. Isaiah Griffin left alone. Drives to the baseline. Double team comes. 5 to shoot for Idaho State. Dylan Darling back over to Isaiah Griffin. His shot missed. The rebound went to the floor. And coming out of there with it is Lachlan Brewer. He gives it up on the other side. And the layup good by E.J. Neal.
Back to an 11-point lead. You got to give these Hornets credit. They have really hung in this game. Down by 22 in the first half, but they weathered the storm, and they are right back in this game.
Dylan Darling, Griffin, far side corner, Hollenbeck. He'll drive, jump around, try to get the wraparound pass. And I'm going to say that ball was tapped.
Touched by the Sac State, so they're going to give it back to the Bengals.
I think that's right. Evan Otten was trying to get to it, and I thought I saw Jacob Holt's hand come in there.
Here's the replay. We'll see. Yeah, I didn't see that ball touched by Sac State.
Unless it was touched when Connor Hollenbeck tried to make that pass. Either way, Chudy Diorama checks in for the Hornets. As Dylan Darling and the Bengals work offensively. Darling gets free. Pull-up jumper rattles home. That's 18 for Darling, and the lead back to 13.
Such a soft touch by Dylan Darling. He's off balance and still able to get a soft touch, a nice roll on that shot.
Lachlan Brewer hands to Neal. Now back out on top to Bailey Nunn. Bailey Nunn reverses. Back into the near side corner beyond the arc to Nunn. Nunn drives to the baseline. And do they have the blocking foul? No. Yep, they might. Yeah, they're going to have the foul. Saturday night, and Jake O'Neal having another night, Brad.
9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists for the transfer from College of Idaho. Of course, Jake is a graduate student. Started his career as a golfer at Boise State University.
Shot 68 twice in tournaments. I can shoot 68. I stop at 12 holes.
I can shoot 68 on the front 9.
Here we go, Sacramento State with the basketball. Trailing by 13. E.J. Neal gets into the paint. Ball gets free. It comes back to Nunn. Comes back out to Emil Skuta. He's got 2 to shoot. Gets it to Nunn. Throws up the prayer. Won't go. Rebound to Connor Hollenbeck. Bengals push into the front court up the left side. Hollenbeck sizing up his man. Chudy Diorama. Bounce pass. Here is Daberco. That 15-footer straight away is good.
Boy, Blake is shooting with such confidence. It is so good to see.
15-point Bengal lead. Double team on the sideline. Then they kick it back out to Neal. Swing it over to Emil Skuta. And his three-pointer off the iron. Rebound to O'Neal. Get it ahead. Here's Hollenbeck. Front court for the Bengals. And now O'Neal here on the right side. Daberco, right block. Turns, hangs, one shot. One-hander is good.
4 in a row for Blake Daberco. He is on fire.
And a 17-point lead. So at this point, the Bengals seem to have weathered that storm from the first 4 minutes of this second half.
Still got a lot of basketball to play.
Skuta lobs it up. Diorama with the catch. He's pinned underneath with nowhere to go. Traveled. And again, the Bengals collapsed with help. Darling was down there helping on the backside.
That is the 10th turnover for the Hornets.
So Idaho State up 57-40. Their biggest lead was 22 at 47-25. Dylan Darling Gets that Bengal offense set up, and he's got Jacob Holt on him. Here's Daberco, left wing, 3-ball. Blake Daberco with a Mountain America Credit Union 3-pointer. Wow.
Wow is right.
And there is the 3-ball on the other end by Jacob Holt, but that'll be back-to-back career highs. That's now 11 tonight for Daberco, and a long way to go.
Yeah, long way to go.
Bengals up 60-43. Jake O'Neal has it. Here's Daberco. They tried to get it to him. Ball was lost, but controlled finally by Lackland Brewer. Long pass ahead. Comes to Scuta. Emil Scuta. Guarded by Dylan Darling. Got a little mismatch there. Nunn. Brewer. Far side. 3-ball good. Lackland
Boy, he
Brewer.
got rid of that shot in a hurry.
He barely caught it before it was off his fingertips on the way to the rim. So Idaho State by 14 with 13 and a half minutes to go. Darling backs it out.
Dylan's been pretty quiet offensively since that red-hot first half.
Here's Daberco, another 3 try. That one off the mark. Rebound comes to Scuta. Lob it underneath, and Jake O'Neal broke it up. Heads-up play by O'Neal. They were trying to lob it for Emil Scuta.
That was a really athletic play by Jake O'Neal to get his body up there between him and the basket.
Coming out will be Hollenbeck, and Griffin. Coming in will be Jackson Green and A.J. Bergen. Yeah.
There's a replay of Daberco with that little turnaround jumper. He had 4 straight shots before he finally missed one.
Blake Daberco having himself a night. Now that's 3 Bengals in double figures. Make it, 3.
Oh, there's a basket and a foul.
Wow.
On the inbounds play.
It's going to go on Jackson Green, and that's his 3rd.
And once again, Sac State has fought right back in this game. You see, gets the inbounds pass and a pretty obvious foul by Jackson Green.
Got it into Bailey Nunn, and you can't let the little guy come around the backside like that. He makes the
And just
free
like
throw.
that, it's an 11-point lead once again. Bengals got a little sloppy last couple of possessions.
So they'll come to the front court now. Darling hands it to O'Neal. Jake gives it back to Jackson Green, and now ball back in the hands of Darling. Dylan working against Emil Scuta. Gets down to the block. Kick it out. Swing it over. Left wing. Bergen. 3-ball. A.J. Bergen with a Mountain America Credit Union 3-pointer and his 6th point of the night.
2 threes for A.J. tonight. A.J. has really grown into that 6-man role off the bench.
Here's Bailey Nunn. Kick it over. Lackland Brewer whistle away from the ball, and that may be on Daberco. Let's see. No, it's on Jackson Green with a push.
His 3rd.
It's his 4th. He picked up his 3rd on that
you are right.
inbounds. Yeah.
You are right.
So they're going to have to get Holland back up to the table here. Non-shooting foul. Just a common foul. And Jackson's really struggled tonight against the big physical guys inside.
He's only about 6'7". Doesn't have the bulk that some of these guys have, and so it's a difficult matchup for him.
Lackland Brewer throws it in. It's tipped, and Dylan Darling keeps it alive. Jake O'Neal keeps it alive. That went off the hands of Sacramento State. I'm almost positive, but they say no. Ray Ames on the far side said that it was a Bengal that touched
We'll see the replay here.
It was hard to see, but...
Oh yeah. That went off of...
Was it off of Jake?
No, it went off of Nunn.
Okay. Bailey Nunn drives inside, gets pinned up, kicks to the corner. 3-pointer rattles out for Scuta. Rebound to the Bengals, and Dylan Darling comes front court. 63-49, Idaho State with a 14-point lead, 12-10 to go in the game. Hollenbeck, Daberco. Daberco, nice little move, got free for a moment, finds A.J. He'll drive, kick to the far side corner. Jake O'Neal, the glass shot, not good, but he draws the foul, and he will go to the line as the foul goes on Jacob Holt.
And that is his 3rd. And Holt is down.
Yeah,
I think he might have bumped knees with O'Neal. They're both down.
Yeah, and that's the...
Are a true international collection.
4 of the 7 continents represented on this basketball team. I think it's great.
I'm still waiting for the first player from Antarctica, but...
Here's Jake O'Neal. The problem they have with Jake, it was not as much of an injury as it was he got cut and he was bleeding.
He misses the first free throw. Jake has missed a couple of free throws tonight.
He's got 9 points, but he's 0 of 2 from the line. Isaiah Griffin will check it on the next dead ball. And Jake's second free throw is good. Another ICCU free throw. Another $5 to student athletes. Project Filter gives financial support to Bengal Athletics, reminding listeners that smoking and vaping increase the severity of respiratory diseases, including COVID-19. Get more information at projectfilter.org.
Got a hold away from the ball.
Yep, E.J. Neal was trying to run through there. They're going to get A.J. Bergen with his second personal. That's just the 4th team foul on Idaho State here in the second half. So it's going to be Sacramento State to inbound under their own basket on the left baseline. Get it into Scuda. Now to Neal up on top. Judy Diarama. The back cut, and
that may be the third foul on Hollenbeck.
Connor Hollenbeck, I thought he had a pretty good block there. Let's take a look. I thought he had a pretty good block.
Going back door, and it was close.
Yeah, maybe got him on the arm. So Hollenbeck at his third. And they said that was not a shot. So just
apparently that was not a foul.
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
Oh, I thought they called. Okay, I thought it was clean. And Emil Scuta answers with a bucket. So we apologize. It looked like they were calling a foul, but I think they were showing 20 on the clock.
Another turnover for the Bengals.
Coming the other way is E.J. Neal on the run. He'll lob it. Diarama, and that's an offensive foul. Yep, Judy Diarama.
Good job by Dabricow.
You know, when you're that big, you got to be careful because they're going to see everything.
Here's the replay. Dabricow, yeah, he was well established.
So with 11:13 to go here, 64-51, Idaho State with a 13-point lead, looking to go to 8-7 and move into 3rd place in the Big Sky Conference.
That was the 11th turnover of the night for Sac State.
Sacramento State shooting the ball very well here in this second half. 61.5%. They're 8 of 13. Bengals, not bad. 6 of 11 for 54%. Here's A.J. Bergen with another 3-ball. And A.J. Bergen with a Mountain America Credit Union 3-pointer. MACU guiding members through life's financial journey and donating $50 to Operation Warm in East Idaho for every Bengal 3-pointer. Lead back to 16 as Bailey Nunn works on the right side. Drive, kick it out on top. Neal left alone. EJ's 3-ball, no. Rebound touched last by the Bengals and out of bounds to Sacramento State.
Bengals 9 of 19 from 3-point range tonight, 47%. Sac 10 of 20, 50%.
And A.J. Bergen just continues to shoot with confidence on this floor. He has his nights, but boy, I'll tell you, lately at home, it's been pretty good. Yeah. Inside they go, ball stripped away by Blake Dabricow from Scuda. Dylan Darling drives, attacks, kicks, Bergen, 3, good! And you talk about
A.J. Bergen. Timeout, Sac State.
70
right now. Blake Dabricow has 7 points in the second half. A.J. Bergen 9 points in the second half. It was Darling and Griffin in the first half who really carried the Bengals offense. So ISU getting some nice contributions in the second half from Dabricow and Bergen off the bench.
And the Bengals shooting 62.8% from the floor. Underneath they go, and A.J. Bergen a little too excited on the defensive end, picks up the foul, his 3rd, and that's 6 on Idaho State.
That's 3 on A.J. If there's been a downside to this game for Idaho State, it has been their inability to cover without fouling.
Right now, Idaho State is on pace to have their best shooting game of the season.
63% from the field right now.
19-point lead for Idaho State. We're halfway through the second half. That does not bode well for Sacramento State. And I'll tell you why in a moment. As Diarama handles the ball on the baseline, lost the handle, comes free, and they're going to call a kicked ball.
On Sac State. So it'll be a Bengal basketball.
So the 10-minute mark really tells the tale for Sacramento State. When they're trailing with 10 minutes to play this year, they're 0-18. And now they trail by 19 with the Bengals in possession. A.J. Bergen thought about it, but never got never quite got his footing underneath him there. Diorama comes out, edges out hard, 9 to shoot. Get it over to Isaiah Griffin. Griffin to Darling, left alone, 3 ball, in and out, no, up high for the rebound, Lachlan Brewer. Brewer to Nunn. He'll push it up the left side with 9:15 to go in the game. Come out on top to Brewer. Rip it far side. E.J. Neal. Little shake and bake move over on that sideline. Put up a jumper. Missed it. Nunn came in for the rebound and got knocked around. It was kept alive by Diorama. And now they're going to have a hand check foul whistled, I believe, on Isaiah Griffin.
And that's going to put Sac State in the bonus the rest of the ball game.
Second foul on Isaiah. And that'll be the 17th foul on Idaho State. Here comes Evan Otten and his 3 fouls. Boy, you cannot talk enough about the weekend that Blake Daberco, who just came out of the game, has given to Idaho State. And that was only the 6th foul. And there's a 3-ball badly missed by Michael Wilson. And the Bengals come the other way. Hollenbeck thought about it. Isaiah Griffin with a little move down there onto that left baseline. Finds Darling cutting down the lane. Dillon couldn't get a shot off. Brings the dribble out on top. Gives it to Griffin. Gets it back. 8:35 to go. And a travel going to be whistled on Idaho State.
Dylan Darling, and that is Dylan's 2nd turnover of the night. He's got 18 points, 5 assists, 2 turnovers.
Jake O'Neal back into the game for the Bengals.
A.J. Bergen, what a great second half. 9 points for A.J. 3 3-pointers, including back-to-back threes that gave the Bengals a 19-point advantage.
Jake O'Neal just 4 rebounds shy of a double-double. Out on top, that's E.J. Neal. Neal to Nunn. Nunn hands off to Brewer. Kick it high, post up on top for Judy Diorama. The shot was blocked. It came to Brewer. Coming out there with it, Neal. Nunn left alone. His 3-ball off the mark. And up for the rebound was Evan Otten, who got the block shot.
Evan Otten with just so much potential. A.J. Griffin, I thought he got fouled. No call. Bengals turned it over.
3 blocks on the night for Evan Otten. And there is a 3-ball good by Bailey Nunn on the other end.
I really thought A.J. Griffin got fouled when he went in there for that layup, but no call.
I agree with you, but sometimes it's just the way it looks, I guess. But the Bengals still up here by 16. Feed it to Otten. He'll catch it and lay it up.
Beautiful assist by Dylan Darling.
And Evan Otten was a little off balance. Credit the 6'11" kid for keeping his feet on him and not traveling.
Very nice catch and finish.
You know, he's sneaky athletic, quite honestly. He really is.
He's not even sneaky. He is athletic.
Here is a drive. They'll kick it to the near side corner and a turnover here by the
13th turnover on the Hornets.
And that'll bring us to our 3. And second and third place is the guy that Evan passed for 4th, the Bengal legend Steve Hayes out of Aberdeen, Idaho. Yeah. So it's Slim Million, Steve Hayes, Evan Otten for single season blocks.
That's pretty good company. Slim Million went on to play with the Harlem Globetrotters. What an athletic specimen that kid was.
There's a foul on Bailey Nunn as he poked the ball away from A.J. Bergen. Bailey Nunn will pick up his 2nd.
And that's the 6th, so the Bengals get it out of bounds?
No, that's the 7th.
That's 7? Yeah. Okay, they haven't changed it yet.
Right.
Okay.
So here's the replay. And you can see Nunn kind of came across the arm. So A.J. Bergen, who has 12 points tonight, 9 of those here in the second half, will step to the free throw line where he shoots them at 93%.
And misses.
Sorry, A.J. Yeah. Coming the other way with it.
The announcer's jinx once again. And another foul away from the basket.
And that's going to be on Otten, and that's his 4th. 6 minutes, 48 seconds here, and going to the free throw line will be Jacob Holt. I have a feeling the Bengals might take a run at him because he's out there with 4 fouls as well. So Daberco comes in as Evan Otten will come and sit down for a couple of minutes. He had 4 fouls in the first meeting against Sacramento State. We talked about that.
That's his main issue, is he's got to figure out how to defend without fouling.
Here's the first free throw by Jacob Holt. He knocks that one down.
Holt leads Sac State in scoring. That's 14 points now for their big man. He averages 16 a game, so he's well on his way to his season average.
Well, they're showing 11 on the board up here. I got him for 14. Yeah, and the live stats show him with 14. So the board in the arena is off a little bit. Jacob Holt with a pair of made free throws and 15 points. I think they might have missed his three-pointer earlier this half on the scoreboard here in Reed Gym. Bengals to the front court, leading it by 16. 6:35 to go in the basketball game. 72-56. Jackson Green on the floor with 4 fouls. Here is Darling. Drive, kick. O'Neal, far side. 3-ball off the iron. Rebound to Scuta. Scuta, long pass ahead to Lackland Brewer. Kicks it to the corner. Back out on top. Now driving from the top of the circle is Jacob Holt. That was a man's dunk.
Yes, sir. And he got fouled. Here's the replay. Nothing fancy about this. This is just pure power.
Yeah, and they got the foul on Jake O'Neal, but you don't want to see a foul on anybody. But Daberco was there and Green was there, and those guys already have multiple fouls. So,
and if he makes his free throw, we're back to a 13-point game.
With 6:17 remaining.
Plenty of time left.
Jacob Holt. He has really been a staple for this program the last couple of years, but he misses that free throw, and Jake O'Neal gets the rebound. Bengals pushing ahead. Isaiah Griffin wanted to attack, but Lackland Brewer, give him credit, got back defensively very nicely.
Hornets in that man-to-man. They've played a few possessions of zone tonight, but they've largely stayed man-to-man.
Darling handles on top. Holt pops out. Now he gets free, and there is a shot almost dropped for Dylan Darling. And the foul is going to go to Bailey Nunn with his third. Let's take a look at that Holt dunk. In traffic and one-handed.
That's one of those dunks that might wind up on SportsCenter. You never know. Darling has not made it to the free throw line yet tonight. These are his first 2 free throws of the night.
Dylan Darling is a good one at 82%. There it is. Been kind of a quiet second half. He had 16. He had the first, 11?
First 10 points
10,
at least. Yeah.
That was the first 10 for sure.
He came into this weekend leading the Big Sky Conference in scoring in conference-only games. He was averaging 23 points a game in conference play. He had 16 on Thursday night, along with 13 assists. He's up to 20 here tonight.
A pair of ICCU free throws. $5 to student athletes from Idaho Central Credit Union for each one of those made free throws. And on the far side, Emil Scuta knocks down a 3-ball and then turns and kind of says something to somebody in the front row.
That's his third 3 of the night.
He's got 11 points total. Here is A.J. Bergen. Give it off to Dylan Darling. Darling hawked out on top by Holt. Here is Daberco. Up fake. Blake drives. Has Holt on it. Gets his man in the air. Steps through. Has the ball stripped away. Still, you know what? That was a under control play there by Blake Daberco. You can see he's comfortable. And here is Scuta with that 3-ball from the right side. Now, he definitely turned and was looking at somebody in the front row. So the ball out of bounds to Idaho State. 74-61. Bengals lead. 5:19 to go. Whip a pass on top to O'Neal. Here's A.J. Catch. Had the ball knocked away. Now gets it underneath to Daberco. Daberco's shot. It was a tough one. Jake O'Neal with a rebound. Shot swatted out of there by Diorama. Scuta coming the other way. He'll turn, give to Diorama, and he'll flush it down with 2 hands.
Big plays by Diorama on both ends of the floor there. I think if I were Jake O'Neal, I would have brought that ball back out and run some clock. It's just an 11-point lead right now.
I almost get the feeling he didn't know Diorama was there. Diorama got beat by Blake Daberco. Daberco missed the shot. Jake O'Neal for the follow and the putback.
Rebounds, 3 assists. He's had a very productive evening for the Hornets.
And a 13-point Bengal lead. 4:35 to go as Bailey Nunn comes to the front court. E.J. Neal back in there.
Darling got smacked in the mouth.
Doesn't appear any worse for the wear. Here's Nunn with the crossover. Now he's got Connor Holland back on him.
There's a mismatch out there somewhere.
It's got to be, well, we'll see. Bailey Nunn drives all the way underneath, and then he's going to get the bump foul, I think, on Blake Daberco.
I think it was Hollenbeck. We'll see. We'll see. Nope, you're right. It was Blake.
Blake picks up his third. The foul issues have kind of taken care of themselves here. I mean, Jackson Green's got 4. He's on the bench right now. Evan Otten has 4. But with 4:15 to go, feel all right. Free throw missed by Nunn, and there's a foul on the rebound.
Over the back, I think.
Yeah. Emil Skuta's going to pick up the foul. That's his second.
Now the Bengals need to step up and make free throws if they want to put this thing away. Both teams will be in the double bonus for the rest of the game. Bengals, this is a 1-and-1, and then from this point on, both teams will be shooting 2. So this is how you win, put games away. You go to the free throw line and make foul shots down the stretch.
Connor Hollenbeck, 1 of 2 from the free throw line tonight. His only point of the night. Front end of the 1-and-1 is splashed through the net.
Connor had a nice first half on Thursday night against Portland. He had 14 points. And he picked up his second foul as part of a double technical, and he really has not gotten back into the offensive flow since then.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. There's a pair of ICCU free throws. The Bengal lead is back to 15 as we approach 4:10 remaining. Bengals on the road next week, Thursday night in Moscow. The battle for the King Spud Trophy against the Vandals. Next Saturday afternoon in Cheney against Eastern Washington. Here's Lackland Brewer, wants to drive off that right wing side, gets shut down inside. Blake Daberco, I think, would have been okay. Make it Jacob Holt over there, not Brewer. As Blake Daberco is going to pick up the foul, that's his fourth. Second half, Brad, but he's had a good night.
Yeah, he scored all 12 of his points in the first half. 6 rebounds. They've kind of taken him out of the game here in the second half. And Holt, who's at the free throw line right now, misses the front end of the 2-shot foul. Holt with 17 points. He does not have a rebound tonight.
Wow.
And he has drawn 10 fouls tonight.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
He is an aggressive, strong young man down there in the paint. Missed both free throws, though.
He's just 5 of 9 from the free throw line tonight.
Tough to win on the road on Saturdays in the Big Sky Conference, those second back-to-back days. And Sacramento State with a big win on Thursday at Weber State, but here tonight, Idaho State's been in control almost the entire way. Here's Dylan Darling, up fake, steps to his right, puts up a 3, no. Hollenbeck with the offensive rebound and the putback. Connor Hollenbeck, his first field goal, but his 5th point, and that's a big one, Brad.
Yeah, seventh offensive rebound for the Bengals, and their 9th second chance point.
Here is a 3-ball left short by Brewer. Bengals come out of there with it.
Patience now. Patience and execution now.
Bengals with Darling on top, working against Lackland Brewer. Give it high post, free throw line, back to the bucket. Daberco trying to back his man down. Bailey Nunn reached in there and got on the hand, and he knew it. He didn't like it, but he knew it.
Yeah.
So it'll be 2 free throws coming up here for Dylan Darling. Chudy Diorama wanted to check in, but official says, whoop.
Daberco just 4 of 7 from the free throw line this year. He hasn't had very many opportunities at the foul line.
Well, he's got 2 chances right here for a pair of ICCU free throws, and let's see. The lefty's release is off the mark and not good. Gotta like those left-handed guys. Got 2 of them now, right?
Yeah.
You got
Darling and
Daberco. Speaking Jackson Green. Us lefties got to stick together, and Daberco misses both free throws. 2:50 to go. Bengals 80, Sacramento State 63. Skuta, Brewer, Nunn, far side, wants to drive the baseline. Gets shut down, brings it back out on top to Diorama. Hands to Skuta. Skuta down the lane, kicks to the corner, a 3-ball up and good by Bailey Nunn. That's going to be a quick timeout taken by.
To see what happens over time.
Yeah, I saw an interview with their president this week. Now, that move to the new facility for basketball was really supposed to be this year. It got delayed. They're hoping it'll be next year. The basketball or the football stadium, I think in the interview I saw it's about a 3 to 4 year project, but it's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Bengals with the ball, 2:15 left. Darling holds, 10 to shoot. Idaho State up 80-66. Here's Jake O'Neal. Gets free, drives, tries to go up, draws the foul on Chudy Diorama.
Chudy didn't like that call. I think it's safe to say.
There's never been a foul committed.
No.
I mean, I know when I played, I never fouled anybody.
No. So Jake has struggled at the free throw line tonight, just 1 of 3. Let's see if he can drain a couple here.
Made his last one, though, and he left that one a little bit short.
Jake is 1 rebound short of a double-double. He's got 12 points, 9 rebounds, and he's got 12 double-doubles this year, second in the Big Sky.
Bergen, Daberco, Hollenbeck set down. Isaiah Griffin, Jackson Green, and Evan Otten come back in as Jake O'Neal hits the ICCU free throw. The back end of the 2-shot chance puts the Bengals up 15. Nunn drives, kicks to the corner O'Neal, or E.J. Neal, I should say. Chudy Diorama out on top to Bailey Nunn. Nunn lost the handle.
Steal by Darling.
Yeah, he kind of tipped it away, didn't he? Going to lob it up for Isaiah Griffin. Loose ball comes to Jake O'Neal. Gets it to Otten. He tries to go up for the one-hand dunk. No foul called. And coming the other way is Diorama. Bounce pass inside. Evan Otten blocks the shot. That's 4 tonight.
He blocked it to himself.
And with 4 fouls,
yeah,
he blocked that cleanly.
And Ryan Looney is telling his guys, look, we don't need any more fancy dunks.
Yeah.
Bring the ball out and run clock.
Yeah, because right now, the only thing that's going to beat Idaho State is Idaho State.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, making bad mistakes. Here's Isaiah Griffin, dribbles across the paint, finds Jake O'Neal, floater off the glass.
Beautiful.
What touch by Jake O'Neal.
Beautiful play.
Shots.
Slim was a lot of fun to watch. He drove Doug Oliver absolutely crazy, but he was a lot of fun to watch. I've never seen a more athletic guy than Slim Million in an Idaho State uniform.
So with those 4 blocks tonight, that's 62. Here is E.J. Neal trying to drive into the paint, gives it to Diorama. Diorama kicks it back out, and a 3-ball put up and missed. O'Neal, that's going to be rebound number 10. Yep, that's going to be rebound number 10 off the deck.
That's double-double number 13 for Jake O'Neal. And fittingly, he got it sitting on his rear end. I love it.
Shows you how hard he works for it.
Yeah.
Let's just double check if they gave him that rebound, and they did, and why not?
Bengals just killing some time now.
Here's a step back from 15, rims out.
Don't foul. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's going to be A.J. Bergen with the foul.
Why would you do that?
A.J. picks up his 4th. I mean, 18 seconds left, you're up 17, and you foul Chudy Diorama 90 feet from the hoop.
And that was Jackson Green's 5th, so he is out of the ball game.
Oh, it's Jackson? Oh, yeah. I thought they called it on A.J.
Yeah. Jackson is fouled out.
The way A.J. reacted, I thought it was on him, but it's on Jackson Green, so Brad correct, he fouls out.
So the Bengal coaching staff are both telling him, okay, all right, okay.
Don't do that again.
Don't do that again.
And I apologize. The way A.J. reacted, I thought and I saw the official, I thought he had said 13, but he was showing 21. As Diorama misses the front end of the 2-shot
Sac
chance.
State has not helped themselves at the free throw line tonight, 8 of 16.
They have not scored in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And Ryan Looney giving high fives down the bench to his coaching staff. Both free throws missed. Daberco with a rebound. And Idaho State in 12 seconds, pending the outcome of the game in Northern Colorado, will be in 3rd place, maybe all alone tonight in the Big Sky Conference. 1 second left, and that'll do it. The Idaho State Bengals, they win it tonight. They sweep the weekend homestand, which we